Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I want to talk about the conversation that Glenn Loury and John McWhorter had a while ago about why people on the left do not want to debate them. What were the possible reasons why people do not want to debate them? Because they felt they had some interesting ideas that other people did not agree with and would really want to take them on. So John McWhorter brought it up, and Glenn Loury gave his ideas, his own reasons why he felt that people on the left would not want to debate them. John McWhorter did not totally agree with him, and he gave his reasons as to why he also believed that people on the left are not willing to debate them on this. So I want to react to the reasons given by both John McWhorter and Glenn Loury and see which of them makes more sense, because I believe that these are interesting ideas that they are putting forward, and in the marketplace of ideas should be tested by debates, should be tested by engagement with people who do not agree with you, which is something that I really want to see more with John and Glenn. So it will make for a much more robust conversation if John McWhorter and Glenn Loury invite more people into the podcast, people that do not agree with them, basically. Now, I have the feeling that some of these people do not want to come onto the platform. So both of them are going to explore the reasons why they think that these people do not want to come onto the platform. And I'm going to react to those reasons given by both of them. So let's get into it.
What's up, John? You know what's up, Glenn? It's been an interesting couple of weeks on social media in response to some of the critiques that you and I have leveled. And I want to tell you a quick story. This is a good long time ago now, maybe 8-9 years ago, I think. Roland Martin is a black commentator.
A very distinguished black commentator, as far as I can tell.
Yeah, I associate him with CNN. I haven't been following him lately. But
Yeah.
he and I used to get along, and everything was fine. And then he invited me to be on his show. I think his radio show or podcast, I think it was radio show, way back. And it was supposedly going to be just, a discussion of whatever the race issues were of that time. But I took a look at Twitter, and I happened by chance to see that what he was really going to do on the show was try to beat me up. He had some trash talking that he was doing with some friends of his.
From his Twitter, excuse me for interrupting, from what he said on Twitter?
I don't think he wrote it to me, but some fans of his used my handle in responding to him or something. And so I just got that whiff that, oh, wait a minute, Roland doesn't want to just talk about stuff. He disapproves of something I've written, and he wants to be mean. And so I just said, okay, I'm busy. Sorry, won't be on the show. And, there was some trash talk from him and some other people for a few days after that. The idea being that I refused to debate my ideas. Now, the truth is, I love debate. Frankly, some people say I'm pretty good at it, and it's my nature. I'm a rather angry person in some ways, and, for me, it's not sports, it's debate. I like debate. My whole position in the race debate is debate. But when it came to this business of me having to have a nasty little session with Roland Martin, I just didn't feel like it. I have books to read, I have classes to teach, and I thought, why should I spend an hour of my time having to parry mean remarks from this person and, implications that I'm not really black and all the sorts of stuff that would have come from that discussion. I just thought, life is short, I'm busy, that wouldn't be fun. It seems like he doesn't like me. Why would I go into his lair? Now, the reason that I mention this is not because of Roland Martin or anything like that. I never think about that anymore. But there's this big thing now about why won't Nicole Hannah-Jones, why won't Dr. Ibram Kendi, why wouldn't Ta-Nehisi Coates come debate you, come onto this show and debate you, or people seem to imagine there would be some sort of three-way thing where you and I would debate these people. And you and I are supposed to say, yeah, tisk tisk, they won't debate their ideas. But Glenn, do you really expect, given the way, for example, if I may, you in particular used to go off about Ta-Nehisi Coates, or frankly, if I may, the way you went off about Nicole Hannah-Jones, and the way I went off about Ibram Kendi, do we really expect that these people would come debate us? And does it mean that they're intellectually shallow or personally vain, that they don't want to come debate people who have sounded so nasty about them? They're busy too. This is a genuine question.
I think I understand what John McWhorter is saying, and I appreciate his point, and I appreciate him trying to put himself in the shoes of his opponents or in the shoes of the people on the other side of the aisle or the other side of the debate. I mean, Glenn has been particularly been very harsh on those people who he believes that their ideas are sort of toxic, or he believes their ideas are, they're not well fleshed out. So how exactly would you expect people who you've talked about in such a manner, who you've sort of dismissed, or who you sort of said that they're not really bringing anything to the table, they are lightweight, they are all that, how do you expect them to want to engage with you? I mean, if you put yourself in that position and someone had talked about you in that same manner, would you want to go on a show with them? Would you want to go on a show with them knowing fully well that their critique of you has gone beyond just your ideas? Their critique of you somewhat has crossed a little bit into the personal sphere. So it's actually a very genuine question that John McWhorter is asking Glenn, and I'm curious to see how Glenn is going to handle this and answer this question.
Well, I'm impressed by the question, John. You're such a mensch. You're such a decent guy. You put yourself in the shoes of your adversary, and you have empathy. This is a continuation, it seems to me, of the spirit of our previous conversation, the one 2 weeks ago, when we did indeed have some critical things, harshly critical things to say about Nicole Hannah-Jones, and then also about Ibram Kendi in the previous conversation, where you were, I'm sorry, I should finish my thought. Where you were placing yourself in the shoes of the other, in this case, an other who had a firm conviction that their view of the world was correct and thought they were fighting for justice, Ida B. Wells style. And you said, suppose someone were to somehow disabuse them of the righteousness of their cause, or were to show contempt or a lack of appreciation for the virtue of what their life's work was about, and they would be perhaps broken in this, and you couldn't take comfort in their being broken. Doing that, can I understand why they wouldn't come on? Why she in particular wouldn't come on? Sure, I can understand it. She knows that she would get her lunch eaten.
Here you go. Suppose...
I'm kidding. I actually don't know what her motives are.
I don't think that they would get their lunch eaten. I think that they just really don't want to deal with somebody who seems mean and seems like they hate them. And also, they think that we're ridiculous anyway. I get it. Why would they debate us? It doesn't mean that they are not worth their salt. That doesn't, at least.
Well, wait a minute now. You say the 1619 Project is shit. I say, busy yourself with stuff with shit like the 1619 Project. She repeats, you show such contempt for me, you say it's shit. But she won't explain why it's not. It's supposed to be self-evident that it's not. I mean, I'm just obviously wrong. It's beneath her to actually defend her position against criticism such as I might offer. I mean,
I fully understand. I mean, she might have some sort of defense. That's a whole other issue. But the question is the medium. Why would she come onto the Glenn Show?
Okay.
I fully understand that a person watches you and me yelling and screaming. They're not going to come engage us directly live.
But you and I disagree about things on the Glenn Show, John. Am I somehow, rude to you or abusive in our exchanges?
We have a certain...
Well, that is different. I mean, the interaction between Glenn and John is quite different. So I don't think that John McWhorter would feel any awkwardness coming to Glenn to talk. I mean, you guys have been talking for more than a decade now, so you sort of understand yourselves. And even when you disagree, the disagreements they're not so wide. The margins are not so wide compared to these other guys where the disagreements would be very wide. So I can see how it would be easy for John McWhorter to talk to Glenn, and how much more difficult it would be for some other persons to. But let's just go on.
Large area of intersection.
True.
And neither one of us are under the impression that the other person's views render them a morally sinister person. And let's face it, in the race debate, when you're on really different sides, there is often that issue. You know, we are Judases to a lot of these people. And so there's more to it.
Well, much more plausible than, oh my God, I don't want to be bothered.
No, that's another point. I mean, another point would just be that the other side just looks at people like Glenn and just says, man, these guys are traitors. These guys should not even be given a platform in the first place. So why would I want to legitimize their position by going to talk with them? I mean, going to talk with them somehow, because these other guys have they sort of have a bigger platform. Yeah, they're more in the mainstream. So why would they want to bring people like John McWhorter and Glenn Loury, who are sort of people who are in the fringe in these kind of debates? Why would they want to bring them into more mainstream content by engaging with them? So that is another plausible theory, and I think Glenn is about to agree that this is a more plausible reasoning why they do not want to come on the Glenn show than the fact that they feel that Glenn is going to be mean to them.
Bothered having to engage in this colloquy with someone whom I know doesn't like me, I think is, I'm so obviously right, and this person is so outrageously, offensively unwoke that I won't deign to glorify them and elevate them by giving them the privilege of engaging in colloquy with me. If that's it's beneath me, it's you know, it's contemptible. You're not for the things that I'm for. And you're black, you call yourself a black intellectual, and you curry favor with these reactionaries. You know, I'm not getting on that guy's program and giving him, you know, however many clicks he get.
Yeah, I think
more likely that.
These people genuinely believe that they are right, and they don't think they will gain anything by engaging with Glenn and John. I don't think they're looking at it from the intellectual perspective of trying to exchange ideas, you know, trying to test their ideas to see what the merits. They just believe they're right. They believe they can't be wrong. So why would they want to come and engage with you? So coupled with the other things that have been said earlier, this is sort of my reaction to the reasons why some people might not come to the Glenn show. But I think that has changed since this video was made, because I think Cornel West came on the Glenn show, and Glenn has talked to Brianna Joy and some other persons who don't really agree with them or take their positions. So I think it's a good thing going forward. I believe that Glenn and John should engage more with people who disagree with them, because it is very easy, it is very tempting to be in an echo chamber and just hear all the things that you're used to hearing, or just hear the things that will confirm your own position, and just hear the things that makes you feel good. But if you listen to other people, your positions will become sharper, they become smarter, become stronger. On the whole, I think Glenn and John are right. I think their positions should be heard more. I think their positions should become mainstream, but that will not be achieved by both of them just talking to themselves. So they should be much more active in, you know, trying to recruit other people to come talk to them, and possibly going on other shows where you have people who disagree with them. So that's the video. Tell me what you think in the comment section below. Tell me whether you agree more with Glenn or whether you agree more with John in this regard. Until next time, remain awesome.